This product is going to change the way that you create content. Let's get into it. What's up guys, Ryan B here. This is Rytech Gaming, and in this video we're taking a look at the Loupedeck Live, which is Loupedeck's brand new macro board aimed directly at content creators and streamers alike. Now full disclosure, of course, they did send this product out to me so I can make a video for you guys, but that is not going to affect my review in any way. If there's reasons why I think it's bad, I'm gonna let you know why I think it's bad, and if it's good, then I'm gonna let you guys know why I think it's good. Also, they sent me out an extra one as well so I can give one away to you guys, so make sure you watch this video all the way through to the end so you can figure out how to enter to win one of these Loupedecks. And as always guys, if you find this video helpful or you like it anyway, make sure you hit a like on the video. It goes a long way to spreading these out to other people across YouTube. Think about subscribing if you like content just like this. And if you get to the end of the video and you still have questions that are unanswered from this video, let me know in the comment section down below, or you can hop into one of my live streams because I do stream myself every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Link again in the description down below. Now, of course, usually with product reviews, I start with an unboxing, but this one I decided to do a little bit different. So let's go ahead and jump right into that. Guys, I don't think one peel is enough. I think we need to see that again. Who doesn't love a good peel? And alright guys, this right here is everything that comes inside the box of the Loupedeck Live. You have the unit itself, you do have a power cord which is USB-C, but in the box they do give you a USB-C to USB adapter, which is very nice that they included that, and it does come with this little clippable stand to put on the back of the unit to make it easier to access on your desk. So the Loupedeck Live is a macro board similar to other ones that you have on the market like the Stream Deck. However, what sets this one apart is the fact that you have a lot more functionality built into this Loupedeck compared to the Stream Deck. So the extra functionality in the Loupedeck Live comes in many different forms. So in the main section of the Loupedeck Live, you do have the 12 capacitive touch LCD screens. So you touch them and they vibrate. Aside from that, you have extra LCD screens on both sides showing off a little bit more information. Across the bottom of the Loupedeck Live, you have 8 different circle buttons you can press and set up to do whatever you want. And then you have 6 different dial buttons. So you have a scroll left and scroll right, and then a press in for each dial, giving you access to many different ways to set this thing up. As far as build quality goes, the materials used in the construction are very nice. The unit itself feels very dense, not overly heavy, but not super light to where it feels cheap. Nothing feels like it's extra wobbly or anything. It's all held together pretty well in a nice little package. The LCD screens are pretty high resolution for the size that they are. And they do have light ups across the buttons for the bottom side buttons as well. So overall, the construction and the looks are very nice. The other thing that really sets apart the Loupedeck Live is the amount of API integrations that this thing comes with right out of the box. I'm talking about things like Twitch, you have Streamlabs OBS, OBS Studio, you got Spotify, Windows itself, web browsers, and all the Adobe products, and many more that you can find on their website. So on top of all that, you also have access to setting up your own custom profiles for any program that you're looking to run with the Loupedeck Live. So let's go ahead and hop on over to the computer and check out the software and see how all this works with streaming, content creation, and all that. So to start off, I want to show off a few things this thing can do with streaming. For this, I'm going to go over into the application and click on OBS Studio. It'll work the same if you run a Streamlabs OBS, but for this one, I'm going to use OBS Studio. I'm going to open up OBS Studio, and as you can see here, it'll automatically load into the OBS Studio app. So a few things right off the bat, this is kind of mostly stock. I'll show you the things that I added right out of the gate. This is what you get. So right in here, you have something that can toggle your live stream, toggle recording. You can create a clip, you can create a marker in your VODs. You got some CPU usage to kind of see. You got your live viewers. You can toggle the next track and then play or pause the music that you're running, usually attached to Spotify. And you have the locking thing here. So if you want to keep the profile set to OBS Live while still clicking on other programs, you have to click the locking thing. Again, just mainly because the way that Windows runs their operating system with active window. So another thing I want to show you guys, if I bring over the OBS Studio, if I drop this down, you can see my scenes and my sources. And if we go over into OBS Studio Actions, you can see that it populates all my scenes and all my sources right in here. As you can see, I have 2 things set up. I set these ones up. Now I can actually click on it right over here and click on the scenes. And you can see all the different scenes right here that I can click through and click on to switch the scenes, or I can go over to sources. I have a bunch of cameras and stuff set up. So I'll go back to the one which hits the main button. You can also see it on here. If I switch over to scenes, you can see all my scenes right in here. Again, I'll switch it over. I'll hit scenes, and then I can go over to sources and hit sources here. And it populates all my sources. Again, I put all these ones in here. These ones don't come stock, obviously, because it's mine, but it is connected directly to OBS Studio. So if I added more scenes or more sources, I could populate them right in here. Then I can just touch one thing and activate it. And adding stuff into any of these little boxes is pretty simple. I'm just gonna scroll up here till I find scenes, open this arrow, and say that I wanted to put in any of these scenes in here. I'll just grab this, click and hold, and then drag it right in there. And say if I didn't want something in there, I'll just click and drag it, and then it deletes it. I want to move it around, just click and hold and drag it around, and you can change anything the way you want. Another cool thing that you guys can see, you can actually attach different little profiles to these buttons down here. So this one is the studio mode in case I want to adjust a few things without showing it off. There's the Spotify scene, which is number 3 on here. I click number 3, you can see that I can play, pause, like a song, and all that through Spotify, all connected within the OBS Studio application. Then of course we have the Twitch integration too, which is super helpful. I'll go ahead and click this so you guys can see it on both screens. So we have one that will create a clip, create a marker in your VOD. You can run commercials. You can set this up for, 15, 30, 1 minute commercials. They have a chat section. And again, Spotify controls right in here. So if we click the chat section, in which I will go over here, click chat, and it'll open it up in here as well. So if you have your Twitch integration set up, you can also turn your chat into slow mode, emote only, follower only, sub only. You can clear your chat. You can also make it send automatic messages from here if you have something set up and you just want to press one button to send in a chat message. And of course, we can go back to Twitch there, or we can press 1 again and go back to the main menu, which brings us back into the main stream section. So a bunch of different functionality here that you can do with streaming. Obviously, all your scenes, all your sources, you can populate it and do all kinds of different things. Another really cool thing you can do with the dials is set up audio levels. So if you wanted to switch the audio on any of your sources or animations or anything, you can attach them to each dial. Just click on the dial here, you throw it in there, and you can adjust by switching, turning it left, turning it right, and then there's a press button in if you want to mute it. That's one way to set it up. So you can set up each one of these dials into any of your audio sources that you have. Now, if we set the Spotify thing, let me go ahead and run Spotify on the computer. So it switches over to the Spotify app. Unlock it so it switches over. So now this is on Spotify. As you can see here with Spotify, there's a bunch of different things you can do. Of course, run through your tracks. I also have a bunch of playlists set up, so I can click playlists. And of course, I have all the RyFi playlists set up, so I can just click one button and it'll start playing any of the RyFi, which if you don't know, RyFi is my Spotify playlist that I've made for you guys. That's DMCA free, royalty free, so you never have issues on Twitch. Go ahead and go check that out. Links in the description down below. So I have that all set up, and of course you have next track, volume levels, and all that. If we go back into OBS Studio, I want to show you guys one more thing. In the customs actions section, I have a few set up mainly to switch around my cameras. But if you go in here and you click the little gear icon, you can make your own shortcuts like this. If you don't want to attach directly into the API, which is just showing you the scenes and sources, changing it that way. You can set it up manually as well by setting certain shortcut keys and triggering something. And of course you can change up your icons and do all that. So right now the customization on the icons aren't the best. They are working to update that in the future. That is what Loupedeck has told me. So that should come in a future update where you'll be able to edit and change every single icon for everything, not just custom icons. So as you can see, just with streaming alone, there is so much you can do with this thing, and it's tied in with both Streamlabs OBS and OBS Studio. So whatever broadcasting software you're using, it's tied in. You have all that functionality to change and adjust things. The Twitch API allows you to do a whole bunch of things as well, which is super nice. You can change over your chat mode, you can send in chats, you can turn it into slow mode and all that. It is super, super helpful to have. So the next thing that is also really, really helpful with this thing is you have access to stuff like After Effects, Aurora, so a bunch of different editing programs. For me, I'm gonna hop into Premiere Pro and show you guys a little bit of that because Premiere Pro is what I use, so I'm a little bit more comfortable with Premiere Pro. So we can load into this profile here, then I'm gonna go ahead and run Premiere Pro. So I have a quick little scene here just with a quick little video that I have set in. And you can see here, we have a bunch of different stuff set up. You can click the project, you have a cutting button, an in out button. So here you have an add and edit, you have play in from the endpoint. You can go toggle full screen with this button up here, just a bunch of different things. You can also skip through frames with the dials, and this is all pre-set up. I didn't adjust this one at all. You can create a clip, you can trim, you can zoom. So if you want to zoom into the track here, you can just click it, zooms in. If you want to skip a bunch of frames, 5 at a time, 1 at a time. So all the little shortcuts and all that. You also have a few different things if you want to switch over to color grading. If we press 3, it'll switch us over into color grading mode, which is super helpful. Again, you have all the different buttons you can run through and change. So you can hit the full screen and you can edit your color grading in the full screen. Say I wanted to adjust the black level, I can bring that up or down, make the blacks a lot more darker. Again, with shadows, I can do that, bring those lighter, bring them darker. If we want to go into basic color correction details, we can get the temperature, the tint, and the saturation. So if I want it to be colder, I'll just slide it this way. If I want it to be warmer, slide it that way. If I want the tint to go into a more green color or a more purple. Slide it that way. Saturation. If I want it just black and white, I can hit that. If I want the saturation super high to make it look really weird, again, you can do that. Again, so many different options in here. It's just incredibly vast with what this thing can do. Obviously, there's a lot more this thing can do that I can show off in a video. It would just take too much time, but there's so much that you can do with any program that you set this thing up with. And this is just out of the box what it comes with already pre-equipped with the API integration with stuff like Premiere Pro, pretty much all the Adobe products, Streamlabs OBS, OBS Studio, Twitch, Spotify, and all that. So that right there is going to wrap up the software of the Loupedeck Live, and I know I ran through a lot of that kind of fast, so if you guys want any full-on setups or tutorials of specific things, let me know in the comment section down below. So my final thoughts on the Loupedeck Live is, one, I 100% recommend this product for anyone that's streaming or creating content or doing both, because you should be as a streamer, and this just helps you do that more efficiently. Now I know that this is more expensive than others on the market, but with all the API integrations and the extra functionality that comes with the Loupedeck Live, I 100% think that it is worth it more, even though it is more expensive. There's just so much more that you can do with the Loupedeck Live compared to the competitors. However, there are a few things that I do think need to be updated. One being the customization of the icons. It's just extremely lacking in that point. However, Loupedeck did contact me and tell me that they are working on that in some future updates, so keep an eye out for that. The other thing that I would love to see with this product is the ability in the software to create virtual audio inputs, so I can map different things and different programs to each one of these dials. So say I want one for Discord volume, then I want one for my game volume, then I want one for my microphone input and all that. So just the ability to balance all the audio inputs that you have to deal with as a streamer with this product would be fantastic, and I think it would make this 100% a must-buy for any streamer. However, the company of Loupedeck did tell me that they're adding that functionality in one of the future updates with Windows, the ability to put any Windows audio input into any one of these dials, essentially creating you that mixer board, which will, again, 100% be a must-buy for streamers. Now, the last negative that I can give is the software is not very user-friendly. I know with how much this thing can do, there's just a lot going on in the software, and it does take a little bit to get used to. But overall, I do recommend the Loupedeck Live, and I think it is a fantastic tool for content creators and streamers alike. So I did promise you guys that if you made it to the end of the video, I would show you how to enter to win one of these Loupedeck Lives. So the first thing you gotta do is head over to my Twitter, link is in the description down below, retweet out the post that I tweeted about this video, and then of course do the YouTube stuff, like this video, comment down below why you want to win, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. I will be announcing the winner live on my Twitch stream, link again in the description down below, on December 12th, so make sure you're there to find out who won. And of course, while you're here, some relevant content right here. Go ahead and click on one of those.